Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought I would share some really fun DIY ornaments that I'm working on this year. I always love adding a few new ornaments each year, and instead of spending a ton of money on new ornaments, I like to try to DIY when I can. Also, a huge thank you to CRICUT for sponsoring today's video. Later on in the video, I'll be sharing a few new holiday projects that I've been working on with CRICUT. It's going to be a fun video, so make sure you stick around. So this first DIY is a really quick way to make a minor change to an ornament and change the color or the look. So this is a little glass ornament that I have here. I'm going to take the top off. You can also use a plastic ornament or a shatterproof ornament as well, which I will explain more about later. So I'm going to take a latex balloon, and I believe this is about a 10-inch balloon. It's not one of the huge ones. It's about 10 inches. So I'm going to cut off probably about halfway. Maybe it's a tiny bit lower depending. It's always better to go higher than lower. And I'm going to wrap that balloon right around that ornament. I did get a tiny little air pocket right in the bottom. So I'm trying to get that little air pocket right out of the bottom there, make it a little bit flatter around that ornament. So I also have a little bit of excess on the top, so I'm going to cut off that excess there. And then I'm going to put that little lid or topper right back on, and you have pretty much a totally color change in ornaments. I still need to get that little air pocket out of the bottom, but I'm going to put some rub and buff. This is in antique gold, and I'm just going to rub and buff that little top and get it to that pretty gold color so it matches the rest of my ornaments and the rest of my tree. And this is a really great way to make a quick color change with some ornaments, and I love that it looks kind of matte. It just looks really simple and kind of that flat color, which I think is kind of trending right now. I think it looks really cute. So this is another one that I did, and this one is a little bit bigger. The ornament's bigger, and I used I believe it's a 12-inch balloon. So the bigger your ornament is, the bigger you'll have to go up in balloon size. So I'm rub and buffing that little topper, and this one is actually the shatterproof. It is the plastic, which I 100% would recommend doing this DIY with ornaments that are shatterproof, just because I did break one when I was trying this, and it cut my hands up so bad. This is actually one of the glass ones, and yeah, I think sometimes that balloon just gets way too tight for that pressure, and it literally like shattered in my hand and cut my hand all up. So I got lucky with getting a couple glass ones. This is a glass one with the black balloon. It's so pretty. I love that matte look. It's a really great DIY. But if I was going to do this all over, I would definitely use plastic or shatterproof. You could even get some from the Dollar Tree, or just use some old shatterproof ones, even from the thrift store that you have laying around. Just so that you don't cut your hands up, because I got quite a few cuts on my hands from doing that. This is some vintage satin ribbon that I found, I think at like a thrift store or an antique store or something. So I love the color, super pretty kind of amber brown. That is definitely going to fit into my tree this year. I love the black with the brown and the green with the brown. This was the result of doing this DIY with the glass ornament. I would be very careful with the glass ornaments. It was not fun. But I still think this is a really great DIY if you have a bunch of ornaments and you just want to change up the color, or you need some little filler ornaments. It's definitely a great way to change up the look. So this next DIY, I picked up this box of ornaments from Walmart for 9 ornaments for, I believe it's $10.98. And I will link this exact box in the description below if you're interested in this. So it had a couple different variations of the red and silver. It had a couple black, which I will leave the black. But yeah, I wanted to change up the other ones. So I have this little metal hanger outside that I use to paint things on all the time, so I'm just hanging the ornaments from that so that I can give them a quick spray paint. I'm going to spray paint them with the burnished amber. If you saw my most recent video, I did this little technique with the burnished amber and the gold rub and buff, and the outcome is so beautiful. So while my ornaments are drying, I'm going to share a few Cricut projects that I've recently been working on. With the holidays also brings the colder weather, and I am always freezing in my house, so I always like to wear sweatshirts and sweats, so these are right up my alley. I'm going to make this cute little gingerbread sweatshirt, so I'm starting off in Cricut Design Space, and I just looked for a gingerbread image. There's so many. I love that little one from Shrek. It's so cute. So I'm just going to grab this little guy, and I'm going to put one and then just keep copying and paste him, and then copy and paste those. And then I have 4. I changed the color to brown so I can kind of get an idea of what they'll look like brown. And then I'm going to click Make It. I'm going to put this on a mat to cut. I'm going to select Everyday Iron On for my material. I like to add a little bit more pressure. So the material I'll be using today is the Cricut Everyday Iron On, and I love using the Cricut materials because there is nothing like it. They work the best. They cut the cleanest. Cricut materials are stress tested for performance and durability. I have made so many sweatshirts and t-shirts that continually go through the washer and they still look and feel great. So I'm cutting out my little gingerbread guys on my Cricut Maker 3. This is my favorite machine to use. Cricut has a lot of different machines and so many different types of materials that you can use. They're constantly growing and innovating and adding to their product list. I wanted to share a quick little comparison. So since I've had my Cricut machines, I've worked with a few different types of materials, and nothing compares to the Cricut. You can see on the left there just how clean and easy it is for that material to come right up, and how bad I really struggle on the right side with a non-Cricut brand material. Although the gold is a beautiful color, it is such a pain to get up off of that paper. It just doesn't work as clean, and the precision is just not that great compared to the Cricut. So I always go with Cricut materials. Another cool thing is if you don't like using the sticky mats, you can also use Cricut's Smart Materials, and that totally eliminates the use for using a mat, which is so cool. So I'm going to weed through all these little gingerbread guys. There's just a couple things to get rid of, and I'm just going to do the outlines, the little buttons, the smiles. They look so cute. I am obsessed. Once I have my image in place, I'm going to put a little piece of parchment paper and then visit Cricut for the heat guide, which tells me what type of material I'm using, and I'm using the Easy Press 2. My sweatshirt is a polyester blend. They are the softest sweatshirts. I will link them below for you guys. I'm going to hit apply, and the heat guide will tell me exactly how long and what temperature to leave my Easy Press on for. The heat guide also tells me when to remove that little paper, so once it's cooled down, I can remove that paper and it's ready to go. I also put my little Easy Press mat underneath the sweatshirt just so that the iron has that little mat to sit onto. I just put it right in between the sweatshirt there. I absolutely love how this turned out. This is going to be my holiday baking sweater. I think it's the cutest thing just for wearing around the house and being nice and cozy. I'm also going to make another one. This one says Rockin' Around with a little Christmas tree on it. Super festive. I'm going to click Make and put this on a mat as well. Because this one has letters, we need to mirror it because it's going on the sweatshirt, so you have to put it backwards. That part always confuses me, but it's super easy. Just hit that little mirror toggle button. Everyday Iron On, same as the other one, a little bit more pressure. I'm going to click Make It and let my Cricut Maker 3 do its thing. So I'm doing the letters and the Christmas tree in this really pretty Kelly green color. I thought with the brown sweatshirt and the Kelly green, it totally looks like a Christmas tree. This Kelly green color with the Everyday Iron On for Cricut is the perfect Christmas color. It's super bright, pretty green, and like all other Cricut materials, it's designed to work flawlessly with your Cricut machines. My son actually saw me making these and wants his own holiday sweatshirt now, so I better get to work on his, but there is definitely no shortage of use. My Cricut Maker 3 and the Easy Press 3 are easily a favorite around here for project making. I would highly recommend if you have a crafter or project person in your family. They are definitely the best gift to give someone around the holidays. If you're interested in making any of the designs that I made today, I will leave the exact link below so you can make these projects too. Don't forget to visit CRICUT.com and check out all their products and materials today. So this was after one coat of the burnished amber, and I'm actually going to do 2 coats because I see some little red spots in there. So if you don't have a little thing that you can hang ornaments on, you can also put them in the ground or even use a piece of styrofoam or foam to just push those skewers in. So again, I'm going in with the antique gold rub and buff and just an old little paintbrush, the same like I did in this video here. I will link it. This technique with the burnished amber and the antique gold has been my favorite to use this year. I feel like it looks so pretty when things are, they kind of have that embossed look, or when things are a little bit raised. It just adds so much dimension, and I love when it kind of pops through at you like that. So it's dark in the background and then that really pretty gold up front. So my tree is officially up. It's not fully decorated yet, so I just had to put these on the tree and kind of get an idea of how they look. So pretty. So I also found this little bell at Walmart for $1.98. I will link it below. I was not crazy about all the little stuff that they put on the top. I feel like it kind of cheapens it a little bit, but I did like the idea of kind of the basket look bell. I thought it was a cute idea. So I'm going to be taking off all the little things on top. It's connected by a little wire, so I'm just going to break that wire, and then it has a little dot of glue on there, so I'm just going to break that off. Super easy to take off. I can always add like a little ribbon or change that little wire thing as well too, but for now I'm going to change the color and have it more of a kind of a natural brown rather than that really orangey brown. I'm just using a brown craft paint, and then I did take some of the black and then also a little bit of tan. I just mix it up. I did this over a course of 2 days, so it's kind of broken up, but I did use that little foam brush, and then for the next day, after I did the next layer, I just used a sponge because my black foam brush got kind of crusty overnight, so I ended up sponge painting some other colors on there just to add a little bit of dimension. I think it looks fine with just the brown, but you can also add some other colors, so kind of adds a little bit of variation in there. So this is using a little bit of the black and the sponge to add just some color and dimension on there. There's also tan. I just mix it all up and get all the colors mixed up in there, put it on the sponge, and then sponge it on and just kind of work that in. I think this would look really cute with a little silky ribbon, or you could even attach like a wire ribbon onto the top and make a little bow right there. But yeah, I think it turned out really cute. It's a nice little textural element that you can add to a Christmas tree, and they're super cheap. They're $1.98. And if you have the paint at home, then it essentially costs you almost nothing. So this next one, these are so cute. They're really great quality. These are also $1.98 at Walmart. And the quality of these, it's like a ceramic, and they're very dense. They're a really good size. I was very impressed with this for it only being $1.98, and they're beautiful. They are in kind of this really shiny gold, so I thought, I wonder what it would look like if I kind of toned down that gold a little bit. I know it's not a huge change going from gold to gold, but it almost made it look like a little bit of a mercury glass just by adding a little bit of the antique gold rub and buff on there. Not a huge change at first, but I will show you the difference side by side, and I feel like it kind of kicks it up a notch, maybe makes it look a little bit more luxe in my opinion. I really think you can't go wrong either way. The original gold is still pretty too for $1.98, but I actually like the rub and buff look a little bit more. I feel like it just looks a little bit higher end and has that little mercury glass effect. So that is the before on the left and then the after on the right. It's a little bit more muted and not as shiny in your face, but I also changed the ribbon to a really pretty kind of satin ribbon in brown just to match the rest of the tree, and I think it looks super pretty. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, which one do you guys like better? I love just simple little changes like this that can take an ornament and really kind of kick it up and elevate the look of your Christmas decor. These are all of the ornaments that I worked on. I love that it gives you that higher end look for way less than you would pay for these ornaments probably in the stores or as a set, and that you can essentially do any of these DIYs to your existing ornaments and change the look of your existing ornaments too. I am always up for recycle and reuse when possible, and some of those ornaments were $1.98, which is almost a dollar store price at this point in time. So let me know in the comments below which one was your guys' favorite. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure that you're subscribed because we will have a ton more holiday DIYs coming up very soon. And with that, we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.